Mr. Davis announcing residents on Cat Island are seeing a drop in their electricity bills, some by as much as 50%. And from cruise port to cruising through the island, the tourism minister says government is working to entice more tourists to spend locally. And then in our news at 7:30, what it looks like to be middle class in the Bahamas. A new study from the University of the Bahamas revealing shocking statistics. We've got the details on these stories and more as our news at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. One day after he was acquitted of all charges, Kirk Cornish's attorney Owen Wells released a statement saying the verdict reflects the jury's careful consideration of all the evidence. Wells says it's important to note that no cooperating witnesses were present to support allegations against Cornish. Wells says Cornish has consistently maintained his innocence and now looks forward to continuing his service to the people of North Abaco with a renewed focus and commitment. A man accused of a murder that took place this year has been granted a $30,000 bail. Shaquille Stirrup is accused of fatally shooting Devontae Brown at Gray's Terrace on May 23rd. As a part of his bail term, Stirrup has to keep a curfew, wear an ankle bracelet, and check in with police 3 times a week. Cat Island residents are seeing a drop in their electricity bills. That's according to Prime Minister Philip Davis, who made the comments at the Cat Island Business Outlook on Thursday. Davis says residents of that island and San Salvador saw nearly 50% savings in power bills. It comes on the heels of a brutal summer for Bahamas power and light consumers who complained of soaring bills and constant power outages on some islands. The Prime Minister credits the reductions to his administration's energy reform agenda.
In the month of September, 397 BPL customers on Cat Island and 127 on San Salvador experienced savings of 44 to 48% on the electricity bill.
The government recently adjusted fuel surcharges and consumption rates for consumers. The Davis administration is also investing in solar microgrids for family islands and has introduced LNG to BPL's fuel mix as a less expensive method. However, according to Davis, the savings don't end there.
I go further. 295 customers in Cat Island and 161 in San Salvador experienced savings between 20% to 44%. And hundreds more experienced more moderate savings up to 20%. And so we are heading right direction, and we just ask you to check your bills.
While our nation continues to celebrate record-breaking cruise ship passenger arrivals, recent international studies show a concerning trend. About 1 out of 5 of those passengers don't leave the ship. That means less money is spent at ports. Our Joshua Williams picks up the story from here.
Statistics released by the Florida Caribbean Association reveal the Bahamas leads the Caribbean for total passenger spending and local employment in the industry for a combined $250.16 million annually. But a report by Business Research and Economic Advisors show nearly 20% of passengers stay on the ship. Minister for Tourism Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper says while he hasn't seen the report, it's something the government has been monitoring.
It's not new news that we have been encouraging more and more of our passengers who arrive in Nassau to come off the ship and to support local vendors. So much so that we have an active initiative, several active initiatives through the Tourism Development Corporation to create new tours, new experiences, and new opportunities for our cruise passengers to come offshore.
For opposition leader Michael Pintard, the government's focus should be shifted to another area.
We are having a decline in stopover visitors, but we are having a corresponding increase in cruise passengers. So we need a strategic plan that allows us to attract those persons who are spending $2,000 plus, which is what the figure is on average for every stopover visitors. And that is where we need to direct our attention.
Cooper also says they've recognized the need to create more activities for cruise ship passengers to enjoy. But how is the government taking practical ways to accomplish this?
We have supported a company called Street Smart 242. It's a technology-driven entity. It's an app that talks a lot about things to do and see. We're calling for entrepreneurs to participate in downtown Nassau, to get involved, to create more restaurants, more entertainment opportunities, more experiences, and more tours.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much, Josh. Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures on this lovely Friday evening. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Friday evening, everybody. A nice and warm day around the islands. A little bit on the breezy side still. Temperatures managed to get up into the mid to upper 80s. We woke up to the 70s, low to mid 70s. 80 degrees is our current temperature right now with a few clouds on the outside. We will call it breezy. Your winds are out of the east-northeast at 17 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 78. Temperatures around the islands right now across Grand Bahama and the Abacos. Upper 70s, 79 in Freeport, 78 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Pick up 80s, Alistown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros, Great Harbor Key here in the capital and in Governor's Harbor. Central Bahamas, 81 in Kemps Bay and Arthurstown, Cat Island. Pair of 82s in Georgetown and Deadman's Key. Coburn Towns in Salvador, 80 and into the southeast Bahamas. Low 80s there with 82 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Abrahams Bay. And in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, 81, also in Matthewtown in Agua. Now, good neighbors to the southeast Turks and Caicos Islands, we rounded our temperature profile at 83. Satellite radar composite, quiet across area once again. High pressure ridge is in charge, dry air mass in place, but that ridge is very strong, so it's producing some very windy conditions across our area. Gale watch is still in effect for the entire island chain as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands. Not much in terms of any rainfall expected. We could see a quick passing shower, but will remain dry throughout the rest of the weekend and into early next week. And those winds will carry into next week as well. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at the tropics and your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, returning in grand style. After a 17-year hiatus, the Renaissance Ball returns to Grand Bahama. We have the highlights, but first...
Coming up in sports, this month we're looking forward to the National Sports Hall of Fame class. Next month we're looking forward to some future Hall of Famers on the diamond and on the court.
This holiday season...
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Long Island is the best kept secret.
Join us as we count down the Rev Up Top 7.
And you'll never be the one.
This is Cindy Blackman Santana, and you are watching The Charlie Bahama Show.
Catch The Charlie Bahama Show from New York City with the amazing drummer Cindy Blackman Santana and our very own jazz virtuoso Giv Jellin, and a few young Bahamian musicians following in his footsteps, all from New York City. The Charlie Bahama Show, every Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas, Channel 212.
Up. It's going to be a ride you'll never forget. The 242 Hottest Artist is coming to give you
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. A pair of Bahamian national team standouts are listed among the top prospects on several preseason college hoops awards watch lists. VJ Edgecombe and AJ Storr were both named to overall Player of the Year watch lists and are expected to be the best at their positions this season. Edgecombe, the incoming freshman sensation, is one of 3 Baylor Bears named to the Jersey Mike's Naismith Trophy Player of the Year watch list, awarded to the top player in college basketball. Storr was one of 3 Kansas Jayhawks players named to the Naismith Trophy Player of the Year watch list. Baylor and Kansas were the only schools in the country with 3 players named to the 50-person list.
The senior men's national team fell short in the Caribbean Baseball Cup, but expectations loom large for the U15 team when they take on the best in the region. The last time this team appeared at a tournament was World Baseball Softball Confederation's U15 Pan Am qualifiers last July in the Dominican Republic.
A major event on the Sports Month calendar that the local sports community looks forward to every year, the introduction of the new class to the National Sports Hall of Fame. The new class will be inducted at a ceremony November 22nd at the Bahama Resort.
Bahamian basketball players had several standouts with their respective teams in Europe. Dominic Bridgewater is beginning to take on a bigger role for Champagne Basket in their last series in the French Pro B League. He finished with a season-high 16 points in 34 minutes off the bench in the 84-78 win. Rashad Davis was also in the starting lineup for Caen and finished with 12 points in an 89-77 win over Nats. And of course, the top 10 plays of the week.
That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world, as singer and actress Jennifer Lopez rallied American voters to trust their emotions while supporting Vice President Harris. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump teasing a potential role for Twitter CEO Elon Musk should he win this re-election. And we'll tell you the ex-FTX executive spared a prison sentence, a judge calling his cooperation remarkable, when Our News returns.
This November 5th, millions of Americans will decide in a race that will define history. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in a fight to the finish.
Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment.
The world is watching, and so are we. Starting November 3rd, Our News is live from the U.S. with a Bahamian perspective, because Our News is everywhere, always there when it counts.
My name is Trey Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can...
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Jennifer Lopez rallied a crowd of Kamala Harris supporters in Las Vegas Thursday, urging them to embrace their emotions when voting. Drawing from her Puerto Rican heritage, Lopez, who endorsed Harris, called on voters to act.
We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter. Your voice and your vote matters. And look, don't be afraid to make people around you uncomfortable. Invite people around you to be the change, to go out there and vote. Nobody likes having tough conversations or talking about politics, but trust me, I've been in some of these rooms. I see the way power works in this country. They love it when you do nothing.
Death toll from historic flash floods in Spain's Valencia region has risen to 205, with authorities reporting most of the fatalities there. Torrential rain battered Huelva, where forecasters warn of more heavy rainfall overnight. Authorities also warn more may be found dead, trapped in cars. Satellite images show severe flooding impacts across Valencia, where streets are blocked with debris and cars. Tuesday alone saw a year's worth of rain, underscoring climate change's role in driving extreme weather. Republican candidate Donald Trump teased a potential role for Elon Musk in his administration if he wins the presidency at a rally in Atlanta, Georgia on Monday. With the November 5th election just days away, Trump energized his base, criticizing Democratic rival Kamala Harris and pledging to revive the American dream.
He wants to be a man that can cut costs, have you live even better. You're not going to be affected. But I think he said $2 trillion. And nobody would do it better than him, and he's going to do it very responsibly, and we have to, it's amazing that, you know, he just wants the country. That's why he endorsed me very strongly. Elon Musk, the guy is incredible. And he endorsed me so, and you know where he is right now? He's campaigning in Pennsylvania. He's been doing it since he landed that crazy rocket ship.
FTX engineering director Nishad Singh was spared prison Wednesday after a federal judge praised his remarkable cooperation in the trial against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Judge Lewis A. Kaplan noted that Singh became aware of FTX's financial misappropriations only shortly before the firm's collapse in 2022. Singh, who testified last year, expressing shock and remorse over his involvement, also provided evidence of campaign finance violations, strengthening the government's case. The former FTX executive sentencing follows a similar one for Caroline Ellison, who cooperated but received a 2-year sentence due to her prolonged involvement in the fraud. Still to come in our news today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was November 1st. Then in our news at 7:30, Murphy Knowles is set to spend the weekend in police custody amid an ongoing investigation involving the home of one of her elderly clients. And are you still earning enough to be middle class? Find out what a new study says when our news returns.
Long Island is the best kept secret.
Join us as we count down the Rev Up Top 7.
This is Cindy Blackman Santana, and you are watching The Charlie Bahama Show.
Catch The Charlie Bahama Show from New York City with the amazing drummer Cindy Blackman Santana and our very own jazz virtuoso Give Jellin, and a few young Bahamian musicians following in his footsteps, all from New York City. The Charlie Bahama Show every Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas, Channel 212.
Up. It's gonna be a ride you'll never forget. The 242 Hottest Artist is coming to give you a ride of a lifetime.
Join us as we count down the Rev Up Top 7.
Get ready to rev up. Are you ready?
This November 5th, millions of Americans will decide in a race that will define history. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in a fight to the finish.
Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment.
The world is watching, and so are we. Starting November 3rd, Our News is live from the U.S. with a Bahamian perspective, because Our News is everywhere, always there when it counts.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentleman that came to do the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1957, Oakesfield Airport ceased operations as Nassau International Airport at Windsor Field became operational. During the Second World War on December 30th, 1942, the airport was named Windsor Field after the Duke of Windsor and became a Royal Air Force station. Windsor Field was the second airport in the Bahamas and was used for delivery flights of U.S.-built fighter and bomber aircraft such as the Boeing B-17 and consolidated B-24 bombers. After the Second World War on June 1st, 1946, the Royal Air Force withdrew from Windsor Field and it reverted to civilian use until it became Nassau International Airport. The name of the airport was officially changed on July 6, 2006 in honor of the late Right Honorable Sir Lyndon Pindling. Then in 1971, St. Andrew's School moved from its location at Collins House to its new campus on Nassau East Boulevard in Yamacraw on New Providence. And in 2014, a massive immigration operation got underway, marking the first day of the then Christie administration's new immigration policy. It required all non-nationals resident in the Bahamas to hold a passport of their nationality, bear evidence of legal residence in the country, or face deportation. There was an island-wide sweep of illegals from 7:30 that Saturday morning that lasted well into the afternoon. Immigration officers made random checks of vehicles, stores, and homes looking for people working illegally in the country. At the end of the roundup, some 300 people were taken in.
They did a basic sweep of all nationals, the roads, businesses and stuff. And so far, we were able to get different nationalities like Haitian, Jamaican, Filipino, and Chinese. We have all of them in custody as we speak.
After 17 years, the Renaissance Ball, hosted by the Grand Bahama Red Cross, made its return to the island this month. As our Italia Hall tells us in this report, residents turned out in grand style to support the event.
The Red Cross celebrated its long-awaited return to Grand Bahama after nearly 2 decades. While New Providence hosts its annual ball each year, the event in Grand Bahama had been discontinued due to the impact of several hurricanes. Last weekend, the Renaissance Ball attracted hundreds to the Grand Lucayne Resort. Organizers say the event plays a crucial role in raising funds for the organization's programs. Attendees describing the evening as beautiful, while expressing their commitment to supporting the cause.
I believe the Red Cross is important because people are always in need, and because that is one of their key missions. I just love supporting those that are in need the best way I can.
Happy to be here to assist and play a major role with this fundraiser.
You know, the Red Cross does a lot of very good work in the community, and in order to do that work, they need money. And so we don't have any problem supporting the Red Cross.
So it's a good support for the community, and I'm happy to be here.
Red Cross Director Edison Sumner says the evening was a celebration.
Even though we've not done this for a while, that there's still so many generous benefactors in this country who are prepared to come out tonight to show their support for the work, the programs, and the policies of the Red Cross.
Beyond the exceptional entertainment, food, and drinks, many attendees marveled at the elaborate atmosphere designed for the ball. Owner of a social affairs, Vanjie McBride Ouden, was responsible for the stunning decor.
I've been blessed with the talent that God has given me. I'm not a Pinterest girl. I'm not a Facebook girl. I'm just blessed with the talent he's given me and the designs that he's allowed me to have.
Reporting for our news, I'm Natalia Hall.
Thanks so much, Italia. Well, to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs. That does it for Our News at 7. Joining us now is our Marlena Leonard with the latest headlines. Marlena, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We made it.
We made it. We made it to the start of November 1st, and we are wearing our poppies in honor of Remembrance Season.
Yes. And of course, if you see any of them while you're out and about, and you can spare the change, make sure you get one. You're showing support, you're helping remember all of the service that people put in for you, and at the same time, you're also helping take care of the veterans' widows that we still have around. And they put in a lot of hard work at the British Legion to help take care of them, and then you can do your part, your little act of service to help take care of them in return.
Absolutely, and tomorrow there is a ceremony that is happening that we want to make sure people go out and support if they have the time.
Yes, they're doing their annual wreath laying tomorrow at the Veterans Cemetery. So if you've got the time, if you feel connected, make sure you go out and you help support. It's definitely a worthy
an important cause. Yes.
Well, thanks so much, Megan. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. We're talking price control, find out how you can report violations, plus how Our News is keeping you covered for the upcoming U.S. elections. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30. Are you still earning enough to be middle class? New study reveals a shocking increase in living costs for Bahamian families. We've got snapshots of the data coming up. But first, the Carey family home at the center of controversy on Grand Bahama last week, back in the news tonight as family members claim the property has been ransacked. And why pack a suitcase for savings? How Costright's new marathon location promises to make shopping abroad a thing of the past. We'll take you inside the new store. And later, Our TV's weekly current affairs show, On the Record, has garnered international acclaim by receiving the American College of Gastroenterology's Scopie Award. Our News Live at 7:30 is back in a moment.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button if you'd like to see more content like this. Follow all of the Our News social media pages so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive.
Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Marlena Leonard, in for Italia Hall. The drama continues in Grand Bahama as the family of Ingrid Carey began the process of moving back into their home on the Northern Island. They claim it wasn't left in the best condition and posted photos on social media. Our news cameras captured this video showing bags of garbage being taken out of the home today. We reached out to police. Chief Superintendent Daryl Weir told Our News that no complaint has been filed with the police. Ingrid's story took the nation by storm last week. Philippa said she placed her mom in the care facility in 2023 because she was taking a job on another island. But when she returned to Grand Bahama, she said she met the owner of Home Away from Home, Mervy Knowles, living in her grandmother's home, while the grandmother was still at the private care facility. Earlier this week, Knowles was arrested. We are confirming she's still in custody for questioning and is expected to be held for an additional 72 hours. A new study from the University of the Bahamas is revealing some shocking statistics about what it looks like to be middle class in the Bahamas. The study that's titled, "How Much Does It Cost to Be Middle Class in the Bahamas?" says a family of 4 in New Providence requires more than $120,000 a year. Berthany McDermott has the breakdown.
The study reveals that as of March 2024, a middle-class family of 4 in New Providence needs an income of $10,200 monthly and $10,100 monthly in Grand Bahama. It's a significant jump from just 4 years ago. The study found that in 2020, at minimum, it costs a family of 4 $4,400 to live a decent and affordable life in New Providence and $5,750 in Grand Bahama. The release of the data comes as Bahamians continue to grapple with rising costs of living. It comes on the heels of brutal summer months with power bills soaring and constant power outages. Making matters worse is the escalating cost of food in grocery stores. The study titled, "How Much Does It Cost to Be Middle Class in the Bahamas?" says the well-being of the middle class typically indicates the overall economic well-being of a nation. Still, little empirical research exists on financial costs associated with living a decent middle-class life in the Bahamas. The study concludes that a family of 4 should earn an estimated $122,400 per year to afford a decent middle-class life in New Providence, and $121,200 if you desire to have a middle-class life in Grand Bahama. It adds the costs do not account for life insurance, private health insurance, national insurance taxes, debt union dues, or new vehicle purchases. It also focuses on rental costs rather than home ownership, which it notes would require greater primary research. Now, the study did admit that this may be the starting point for informing policies related to living costs in the Bahamas. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Costrite officially opening the doors to its new Marathon location right next to its sister store, Solomon Supercenter. With promises of low deals, the best brands, and comfortable shopping, officials say the member-only store will help customers save while shopping. Our Joshua Williams was at the opening and has this report.
And with that, the new Costrite Warehouse Club opened its doors after months of construction. Replacing their Town Center Mall location, the new store on Old Trail Road is a 55-square-foot space that's completely remodeled with a new roof, floor, shelving, equipment, and solar-powered refrigeration and air-conditioned systems. AML Foods Limited Board Chairman Franklin Butler says the store is all about the customers.
But this Costrite store creates an opportunity for additional shopping options and an enhanced overall grocery experience for our customers. Convenience in shopping in a new, modern, spacious facility, offering an even greater selection of brand names and private labels at an exceptionally low price.
This store is the newest addition to the AML family, and Butler says the Bahamian economy benefited.
They tell me that $12 million later, an investment in solar and roof replacements, 110 associates between Solomon's, Old Trail, and here at Costrite, that 98% of those funds have gone to local contractors.
Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Renee Bastian, says they're also introducing a new component to their membership program.
Brand that is well recognized and trusted throughout the Caribbean and Latin America, and is well known for having wide variety, great quality, lower prices, and excellent value.
For this customer, she couldn't be happier.
Costrite is a part of me. You know, I once was this family
as a store front-end manager. And we look forward to things like this. And I know you have great stuff here today to offer good deals and everything. And I am looking forward to being a part of that today.
Now, while you have to be a member to shop here at Cosrite, store officials tell me there are a number of discounts and day passes available that will make the process easier. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks, Josh. Can't wait to check it out. Well, after nearly half of the grocery stores recently inspected by the Consumer Protection Commission were found to be violating some form of consumer protection standards, officials are reminding the public to do their part if they see something that needs to be reported. Deputy Manager in the Complaints and Investigation Department of the CPC, Alfred Taylor, explains how.
The complaint process is straightforward. You can either email us with your information. You can contact us by phone. You can also come into the office and make a complaint. We always say to consumers that when you want to make a complaint, to ensure that you keep your receipts. Your receipt is your passport. We can't really do anything if we don't have anything saying that it actually happened. The receipt is your passport.
And Taylor says the amount of money they've been able to refund to customers since last year is in the six-figure range.
We've been finding that most providers are compliant. When we start our investigation or we enter our investigation, we find that they comply. So I think over a period of time, we've recouped over $117,000 as it relates to consumers being refunded. Okay?
That's for the year?
That is technically from last year to now. Last year, September to now.
Well, it was a sunnier day in the capital, but still breezy. Joining us now is meteorologist Greg Thompson for a quick look at weather. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlene, and a happy Friday evening, everybody. Breezy conditions on the outside right now. We did get up into the mid to upper 80s. Temperatures right now settling into the low 80s. 80 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds outside. It's still breezy. East-northeast winds at 17 miles per hour, and they're gusting high at times. Your feels-like temperature hanging out in the upper 70s. Satellite radar composite. Dry air mass in place. That high-pressure ridge is still in charge. It's a very expansive high-pressure ridge, very strong one that's producing quite a bit of windy conditions across the area. Beaching and boating, not advised. This condition will remain with us through the weekend into early next week. A gale watch is still enforced across the entire island chains, as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands. Once again, it's not advisable to be out there on the waters for the next several days. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. We'll tell you more what's happening in your extended forecast and a look at the tropics still to come.
Still to come on Our News, thousands of Bahamian women struggle with the symptoms of menopause, often even missing the signs entirely. Now a menopause health practitioner is hoping to educate and empower women to help them through the process. Plus, On the Record takes home an international award. The American College of Gastroenterology presenting the show its Scopie Award, rewarding innovative and impactful projects and programs that raise awareness on colorectal cancer screening and prevention. When Our News returns.
Long Island is the best kept secret.
Join us as we count down the Rev Up Top 7.
This is Cindy Blackman Santana, and you are watching The Charlie Bahama Show.
Catch The Charlie Bahama Show from New York City with the amazing drummer Cindy Blackman Santana and our very own jazz virtuoso Give Jellin, and a few young Bahamian musicians following in his footsteps, all from New York City. The Charlie Bahama Show, every Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas, Channel 212.
Up. It's gonna be a ride you'll never forget. The 242 Hottest Artist is coming to give you a ride of a lifetime.
Join us as we count down the Rev Up Top 7.
get ready to rev up. Are you ready?
This November.
As the presidential election draws near, our eyes will be on the state of Florida. It's a battleground that could make or break the candidate's path to the White House and where dozens of Americans of Bahamian descent will cast their votes. Our news anchor and senior producer Candino Knowles is gearing up to head to South Florida, where he'll be covering the election from a unique perspective. But we'll also be keeping a close eye from home, and that coverage is being led by senior digital content manager Ricky Barry, who joins us now in studio with more on this. Ricky, it's so good to see you on this side of the camera.
Marlena, it's great to be here.
Amazing. Well, this election has certainly gripped international attention by virtue of the stakes. But how are we planning to engage the audience with our own coverage?
Well, Marlena, you know, we have a saying in the Bahamas, when the U.S. sneezes, we catch a cold. So this isn't just a big deal for the U.S., but it's also a very decisive election for the future of the Bahamas and especially for Bahamians abroad. So what we want to do is on election night, Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m., mark your calendars, we will be premiering a live roundtable talking about these big issues. Ultimately, how will a Kamala Harris presidency or a second Donald Trump presidency affect us in the very near future?
And what do you think will be the biggest takeaway for our audience with what they'll get to see on our platforms?
It's not really about what they'll get to see, but what they get to be a part of. We'll be posting a few questions over the weekend, and we really want to hear from the audience. We want to hear your take on this big issue that's happening. We're talking about immigration, we're talking about abortion, and to be honest, a topic that I didn't expect was going to be so polarizing is, would Bahamians vote in a female prime minister? For some reason, a lot of men are a bit hesitant about this question, so it's really an opportunity to see.
And we've been doing multiple stories on that this week, so it'll be really interesting to hear the feedback. But who's going to be a part of this roundtable discussion?
Well, we're speaking with Bahamians, obviously, but specifically Bahamians living in the U.S. who will directly be affected by this vote. Political figures, and we have a special appearance from a young businessman who's actually on the Kamala Harris campaign trail. So it'll be a really informed discussion, and we really want our viewers to take part.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Ricky. Our News Senior Digital Content Manager, Ricky Barry. And remember, you can follow all of Our News digital platforms in the lead up to the U.S. election for a unique Bahamian perspective. And menopause is something all women have to go through at some point, typically between 45 and 55 years old. But due to the stigma attached to it, the topic is often considered taboo. Left in the dark, many women struggle with the symptoms of menopause, often even missing the signs entirely. Patrice Lockhart is a menopause health practitioner.
And 99% of the women in our country enter the menopausal transition. They're not prepared to deal with the symptoms and changes their bodies will go through. When I went into the menopausal transition, the same thing happened to me. I had no clue what was going on with me. I was having issues sleeping for about a year. I was putting on weight, and I was dealing with anxiety.
The group has combined nutrition, exercise, and mental health programs, hoping to take a more holistic approach to helping women through their menopause journey. Renee Minus is a health coach within the group.
We have exercise programs running. We have nutritional health programs running. We have mental health programs running. We also created a community where women, they come together and they talk about their issues. They talk about all of their experience and what they're experiencing. And they're able to help one another. They comfort one another, as well as they're getting the education on what is going on with them and what are the options that they can have to help relieve these symptoms.
Our TV weekly current affairs show On the Record now has another award under its belt, this time taking the international spotlight, receiving an American College of Gastroenterology's Scopie Award. The Scopie rewards innovative and impactful projects and programs that raise awareness on colorectal cancer screening and prevention. The award was specifically for an episode of On the Record entitled In the Shadow of Risk, a live colonoscopy, which aired in March of this year during Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Host Jerome Sawyer took viewers along for the entire process of getting a colonoscopy. Sawyer calling the win exciting and humbling at the same time.
This is just validation that the message
and the messages that we continue to push, the things that we talk about, the topics that we tackle every week are important to people. And people are beyond borders. They're beyond countries. The issues are the same. And this is an issue that transcends country, transcends race, but it's important to Bahamians. But it's also humbling to know that an institution outside of Bahamas recognized what we do, recognized the importance of it, and decided to honor us.
Award criteria looked at scientific accuracy, potential public health impact, educational value, whether projects had a high number of online views, and originality. Dr. Gemma Roll was the doctor who conducted Sawyer's colonoscopy for the episode. She's also a member of the American College of Gastroenterology. The doctor says it's important to remember that the screening modality used serves an important preventative purpose.
I feel that this is a full circle moment. My colleagues abroad here in the U.S. recognize the power and the impact that we can have simply as physicians and journalists, just to spread the word, increase awareness, get patients in to be screened for colon cancer. So this is a very special moment for me.
Coming up in sports, BJ Edgecombe and AJ Store have big seasons ahead in college hoops, a check on Sports Month, and a look ahead to the 15U Caribbean Baseball Cup.
Plus, the future of Rake and Scrape, the internet ablaze as a legendary local artist collaborated with two younger artists for a fresh take on a familiar favorite. We have the details when Our News returns.
Up. It's gonna be a ride you'll never forget. The 242 Hottest Artist is coming to give you a ride of a lifetime.
Join us as we count down the Rev Up Top 7.
Get ready to rev up. Are you ready?
This November 5th, millions of Americans will decide in a race that will define history. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in a fight to the finish.
Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment.
The world is watching, and so are we. Starting November 3rd, Our News is live from the U.S. with a Bahamian perspective, because Our News is everywhere, always there when it counts.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. A pair of Bahamian national team standouts are listed among the top prospects on several preseason college hoops awards watch lists. BJ Edgecombe and AJ Store were both named to overall Player of the Year watch lists and are expected to be the best of their positions this season. Edgecombe, the incoming freshman sensation, is one of 3 Baylor Bears named to the Jersey Mike's Naismith Trophy Player of the Year watch list, awarded to the top player in college basketball. He was also one of 20 players named to the Jerry West Awards watch list, which honors the nation's top shooting guard. Store was one of 3 Kansas Jayhawks players named to the Naismith Trophy Player of the Year watch list. Baylor and Kansas were the only schools in the country with 3 players named to the 50-person list. Store, one of the top junior transfers in the nation, was also named to the Julius Erving Small Forward of the Year watch list.
The senior men's national team fell short in the Caribbean Baseball Cup, but expectations loom large for the U15 team when they take on the best in the region. The last time this team appeared at a tournament was World Baseball Softball Confederation's U15 Pan Am qualifiers last July in the Dominican Republic. Team Bahamas entered the tournament ranked number 59 by the WBSC and finished with wins over 10th ranked Panama and 31st ranked Argentina.
The whole idea is to get those guys up. They're going to be the future of the national team. We're talking about the World Baseball Classic comes every 4 years, every 3-4 years. Olympics now coming into play. So we have to get these guys playing to be ready for when that time comes.
A major event on the Sports Month calendar that the local sports community looks forward to every year, the introduction of the new class to the National Sports Hall of Fame. The new class will be inducted at a ceremony November 22nd at the Bahama Resort. This year's inductees include Prime Minister Philip Davis, A.F. Adderley, Gary Bain, Oswald Brown, Nelson Chipman, Linda Ford, Sir Kendall Isaacs, Barbara Knowles, Randy Roll, Rudolph Swaby, Stephen Hanna, Nico Grant, Doug Collins, Arthur Reggie Knowles, and Don Knowles. The class will also have its first team induction, the women's national softball team that competed at the 1990 International Softball Federation Women's World Championships.
Bahamian basketball players had several standouts with their respective teams in Europe. Dominic Bridgewater is beginning to take on a bigger role for Champagne Basket in their last series in the French Pro B League. He finished with a season-high 16 points in 34 minutes off the bench in the 84-78 win. Rashad Davis was also in the starting lineup for Caen and finished with 12 points in an 89-77 win over Nats.
It's Friday, let's get your extended Halloween weekend started with top plays. Let's get started at number 5. Deshaun Knowles drops a bomb over the right field wall and into yellow elder. We'll have more from the Caribbean Cup later.
At number 4, Buddy Buckets. He dropped 19 points in the fourth quarter at home in a comeback win.
At number 3, history made at Yankee Stadium. Jazz Chisholm blasts a solo shot in Game 3 and becomes the first Bahamian ever to hit a home run in the World Series.
At number 2, Kai Jones with the cross. Gets a step and dunks on everyone.
And coming in at number 1, the youngest player for Team Bahamas, the youngest player at the Caribbean Baseball Cup, Kyson Dorsett throwing out the runner here at second. He did that twice in this game and led the tournament with 4 caught stealing. Nepotism is amazing when the kid is actually good. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. We weren't on any journalism preseason awards list, but do you think we got a shot at the Hall of Fame?
I'm enjoying wearing t-shirts again.
Hall of Fame worthy wardrobe. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, 200,000 views in less than a month after a legendary local artist collaborated with 2 younger artists for a fresh take on a familiar favorite. Could this be the future of Rake and Scrape? And a sunny Friday, but will the weekend bring the same sunshine? Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended weather forecast, and that's coming up when Our News returns.
Our projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale. They are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be extra.
What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We close out October and we have one more month left in the Atlantic hurricane season officially, and we're tracking 3 areas out there in the open Atlantic right now. The National Hurricane Center watching an area just just to the west of the Azores, and that's actually a non-tropical low that the National Hurricane Center is giving a low to medium chance for formation, but that will stay out there in the open Atlantic. Closer to home, we have this disturbance just to the north of Puerto Rico, low to medium chance for formation. Most of the showers are disorganized and pulling away towards the north and east and away from southeast Bahamas, but that could lend some shower activity to extreme southern islands. And then, of course, in the southwestern Caribbean, National Hurricane Center giving that now a medium to high chance, 70% for formation. Nothing there right now, but over the course of the next couple of days, we will continue to watch this. Most of the models are indicating whatever forms will move towards the north or towards the northwest and should move into the Gulf of Mexico and pose no problem for us. Closer to home, a ridge of high pressure dominates our weather. That's going to keep us rather windy for the next couple of days and dry, but we could see some occasional passing, quick moving showers across the area. Boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. We're asking you boaters to remain in port. High chance for rip currents, so we are not advising you to do any swimming. Northeast to east winds, 15 to 25 knot seas, 5 to 8 feet, building up to 12 feet in northeast to easterly swells. High tide is at 8:34 tonight, the low tide at 2:36 in the morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, much the same, but the winds are stronger, northeast to east, 20 to 25 knots, and they will be gusting to near gale force. 6 to 9 foot seas, building up to 14 feet in northeasterly swells. In your extended forecast, over the next couple of days, we'll keep some showers in the forecast. Most of those will be quick and passing. Temperatures will stay in the mid to upper 80s, and those winds will continue into early next week. Occasional passing showers will be in the forecast, so we stick that back in on Tuesday and Wednesday. But all in all, boating and beaching not advised for the next several days. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night, and have a safe weekend, everybody.
Rake and scrape is a gem of a genre here in the Bahamas, but some fear that it's not appreciated and question whether it will stay alive amongst a newer generation. It's a topic that's gone viral on social media. Our Danielle Miller tells us more.
A few weeks ago, the internet was set ablaze as legendary local artists collaborated with 2 younger artists.
So, Mr. Gino
The classic song, Stagger Lee, was originally sung by Gino D, but it recently got an update thanks to a music video. This theatrical rendition of the song was produced by 1/10 Media and Das Quay.
So Quay hit me up and said, boy, we need to do Stagger Lee. And I was like, say less.
It is so beautiful to be surrounded by a community that doesn't only have that excitement as much as you, but someone who could take your vision and blow it up even bigger.
With a full cast in the video, one questions: how were these men able to successfully keep any chatter of the production out of the grapevine?
It was a team effort. We brought a lot of people in who we trusted, and we didn't even tell them what they was doing. All the extras, they didn't know they was doing Stagger Lee. We just say, you all come in dressed in your 70s clothes, because we don't want a bunch of people from Nassau coming there talking about, oh, this reggae.
With the video garnering nearly 200,000 views in less than a month, it's safe to say the public will be looking forward to more of these collaborations. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Well, on behalf of the entire team, thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. I'm Marlena Leonard. Have a great evening, a safe weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Hello, I'm Jerome Sawyer, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, if you want to continue to receive this great content, be sure and hit that button right over there. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way, you continue to get all of this great content from the team you already trust.